The past year challenged every single Delawarean in a way we haven't seen in more than a century. No one has been exempt from the reaches of this pandemic, and too many of our friends and neighbors paid the ultimate price. It's a bond we all would have chosen to forego. But the pain of the pandemic is not the only thing this year gave us. It also gave us a clear picture of what we could do as a state with each other and for each other. Doctors and nurses worked nights and weekends to treat patients with COVID. The National Guard staffed testing sites up and down the state, and over half of all Delawareans stepped up and got tested. Child care providers and correctional officers went to work every single day, even while the virus surged. You sacrificed visits with loved ones, family traditions, the camaraderie of the office or the classroom, a high school sports season, all to keep our most vulnerable citizens safe. And now the vaccine has arrived, and there is hope on the horizon. For me, and for so many of you, this year has been an incredible balancing act. We've tried to protect public health while protecting our economy. Preparing for the next year and the next 4 years will require this same balancing act. We'll continue to deal with the crisis at hand, but we will also plan for the future. We will move forward with optimism and hope.
We would describe 2020 in 2 words: tragic and exhausting.
Painful, lonely, and challenging.
The hardest thing I had to deal with in 2020 was just the feelings of loneliness and isolation.
Individuals who came through our food lines who said things like, I shouldn't be here. I've never had to do this before.
We've had to reimagine how we were going to do our church services.
The thing that really brought me hope was seeing the resiliency of the human spirit, because it really is an amazing thing.
Coming from the background of a person with a disability, we always knew how to adapt. We just needed the rest of America to catch up with us.
Running up and down the state in full Ebola suit, shoving a Q-tip up 10,000 people's noses.
Who knew the hottest commodity going would be toilet paper?
What got me through it was giving back, being about something, sticking together with the people that I believed in.
Our school nurses, they've been guardrails and headlights guiding us through this crazy pandemic.
We've seen volunteers step up every day.
A beacon of hope is on the way, and better days are ahead of us, Delaware. A vaccine is here.
I was honored to be the first person in the state of Delaware to receive it. I feel great.
We're gonna wash up, we're gonna mask up, we're gonna continue to separate, and we're gonna vaccinate.
Not to return to normal, but to something better and beyond that meets the needs of those that are most vulnerable.
2021 is going to get better. Don't give up.
I want to take this opportunity to thank all healthcare workers for stepping up. We see you, we hear you, we recognize you. Please recognize yourself and know we appreciate you.
It has been a privilege serving as your Lieutenant Governor over these past 4 years. I know this past year especially has been challenging, but as we look to 2021, I am filled with confidence and optimism. We will face the challenges that confront us by working together to build a safer, healthier, and stronger Delaware. The COVID-19 pandemic has hit us hard, touching the lives of every single Delawarean. We saw and felt the grief created with the death of our loved ones and the suffering endured through the loss of jobs, the hurt that was felt by our businesses, and especially our small businesses. But we also saw communities rallying around one another. We saw people act with kindness and compassion for one another. People from all over reached out to help their neighbors. Community advocates and leaders from all faiths, our legislators and elected officials from both parties, and members of our unions and non-unions all reached out to help their neighbors. You inspired us and gave us hope. As a public health nurse, I saw the challenges firsthand to test, to trace, and treat persons for COVID. It was nothing short of incredible. Nurses, doctors, first responders all put their own health at risk to provide care. Teachers completely had to reimagine and retool how they reach their students in a new virtual world. As the co-chair of the Pandemic Resurgence Advisory Committee, we witnessed firsthand the stinging effects of disparity felt by our communities of color in so many areas, including health and business, and the profound impact it has had. We also know the importance in this moment to make it right and equitable for everyone. Over these next 4 years, we will work to provide a first-class education for all children, ensure good paying jobs, and extend support to small businesses and address systemic racism and discrimination in our institutions. We have built a strong foundation to achieve these goals, beginning with the multiple vaccines that will become more widely available in the coming months. Getting vaccinated is one of the most important things you can do this year to help protect yourself, your loved ones, and our state. Governor Carney and I are committed to ensure the timely, equitable, and accessible distribution of the vaccines for all Delawareans. We need you to do your part and get vaccinated to protect yourself and your family. We cannot do this alone.